Welcome to the Steve Reeve Podcast with the best moments from the past week and a few things that didn't make it to air. Monday.
I got excited about new ice cube trays. I'm admitting this. We're going on this journey together. Getting older is weird, really, is the bottom line. In some ways, I have a death grip on the hallmarks of my own young adult life gone by. I can feel it, I can feel that sort of midlife pre-crisis thing going on, where it's just like, weren't the days better? Wasn't life just a different thing? Yeah, and also, at the same time, while I'm maintaining that death grip, I'm also catching myself thinking about and getting excited about replacing the plastic that we form our ice in at home. But it has silicone bottoms this time, so you can just pop them out like a piece of gum out of a blister pack. That's fun. The worst part, this is the real admission, I went and checked on the mid-freeze last night. It was unconscious. It wasn't something I really was, weighing the pros and cons for. It just happened. I just caught myself up and at the freezer, not for any reason in particular, just to look at the ice. And now I have to live with that fact. Feeling sick. And not because, I'm coming down with something. No, it's because we added up all of the monthly and the yearly fees for subscriptions and more over the weekend. I was lightheaded at the end of it. And, we've done the streaming service roundup before, and I've, canceled a couple as a result in the past. But, things like that, they tend to creep up on you, and that's why you do need to take stock. This time, though, was everything. Like, the budgeting just needed a full update. Just, that time. From the frivolous to the everyday, entertainment and things like that, to the necessary for survival costs. And at the end of that little journey, I wanted to puke in a bucket. But I'll just make do with whatever I've got around because buckets cost ducats.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruz FM.
It's time for Cruz Music News with Steve Reeve.
Oasis, of course, hit Toronto over the weekend, and they've got one more show today, if I'm not mistaken. Still, first time on the continent, in North America, performing in 17 years. People along the route are loving what they've been seeing. Fans in Toronto saying life has peaked. However, there are some people, for some reason, they're questioning whether or not they're going to change up their set list during any of the stops along their Reunion in 25 tour. I say, hey, just be happy they're back. Really, that's the bottom line. Will Smith also in the news, accused of having some fake fans show up in a video. I don't mean fake in the sense that they're not real, genuine fans, but no, I mean they don't exist. AI, perhaps used. People have noticed audience members with blurry faces and in some cases pointing out what they believe to be extra hands, a telltale sign amongst other hallmarks of artificially created images. And Deftones also in the news. They are over in Vancouver. They just kicked off their private music tour to promote a new album, and they've got brand new songs to go along with it. A new one called Entombed was even dedicated to the late former guitarist of Mastodon, Brett Hines, who died earlier last week. That's it for your music news this morning. It's always heartening to see those headlines, about NASA or about space-related stuff going on, because so often the headline will be something like, wow, some crazy stuff was going on when we pointed this telescope in this direction, and according to current science, that stuff shouldn't be able to happen. And you're like, oh, wow, what's going on? And the article's just, we don't know either. We'll get back to you. Or it's something like, well, we weren't aware that this kind of thing can happen in the universe, but now we kind of do. No idea how, though. Or look at that. No, we don't know what it is either. It's so glad. It's so heartening. It's so comforting to be amongst people who have just a real handle on what's going on around us. Truly, no one knows what they're doing, it seems.
Tuesday.
Do you feel annoyed by the idea that when you buy something digital, you don't actually just own it? Probably. Maybe it just doesn't even confront. But then if you are confronted, by that moment where you just absolutely need to go and watch that final cut version of Blade Runner again, and you don't have it, and they just gave you the theatrical cut or something like that. Like, I mean, to a nerdy movie buff, like, that kind of thing matters. Or more importantly, suddenly they say, oh, yeah, our deal with the people who made the movie is over. So even though you paid us to buy the movie on our service, it's not there anymore. Because it's just gone. And there's nothing you can do because of the fine print in the terms of service. Isn't that annoying? Like, that idea is enraging to me. And there is a class action lawsuit that just got filed on Friday of last week against Amazon Prime Video for this very thing. It's specifically targeting the language of buy. You kind of have those options on almost all the streaming services where you've got video on demand, buy, or rent. And yeah, obviously renting, we know that. That's like from the video store days where you come and you give money and you get a movie for a certain period of time. But then if buying is just a different and indeterminate period of time instead of just owning the copy of the movie, then you're not buying it, are you? So that language definitely has to change. I think that most people would get annoyed by this, and there's a big movement in video games, even though it's a more complicated thing, because each piece of video game software is software and not a piece of media like a movie or a song is. And it's just kind of done, and then you get copies of that. Video games are a little bit different, but there is a Stop Killing Games movement that kind of spurred on this very class action lawsuit because people are tired of the movies or the games that they've paid for just disappearing. And there are a great deal of like implications that might result from this, potentially changing the landscape of how we buy media, or therefore don't buy it if we're actually changing the definition. So, I mean, this is a changing thing, more to come, but it makes me long for the days when it was simple. VHS and cassettes, right? The player played the thing got played by the player. It was never more complicated than that, unless somebody brought a magnet by. We're taking a look at some headlines, including Gorillaz announcing that they are going to be part of a Fortnite pop-up event in London. Probably the ideal band to pick for any kind of crossover into the Fortnite universe, as they are already animated. They're going to be headlining the Season 10 of the Fortnite Festival, a gameplay mode that obviously involves music and performance as well. But a London pop-up event is going to be preceding that with some music that will be played for people who are, of course, in the area. Not that we're going to be quite so lucky. Lord of the Rings music news. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but the box set of Howard Shore's score for the incredible films that were, just winning Academy Award after Academy Award, they sold out. So now, in results, they're going to sell them individually. So people who couldn't get the entire box set all at once can now collect them piece by piece, one at a time, all 6 of them. Of course, the box set already out. It was released in May, but no longer available unless you're shelling out on eBay. The individual items starting to be sold October 3rd. And that's it for your music news this morning. In advance of a milestone moment and event coming up with Keyano College, I'm here with Michelle Cormier, the communications coordinator at the college. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing very good. So probably very busy over there as you guys are getting ready for the 60th anniversary celebrations. I don't need to say it, but obviously that's not something that comes around every day.
No, it's quite the monumental milestone in the making for us.
Yeah.
So we're celebrating 50 years of learning, leadership, and community spirit. But it's actually 50 years of Keyano and 60 of the institution, which is weird and random.
Yeah, of course, and yeah, every place has got that kind of strange history. You're like, well, actually, but 60 years since the institution formed here in the community and has been a place, a touchstone, people going to learn and to get together. And now we're gathering together to celebrate that fact. So I know there's a bunch of stuff happening. Like, for instance, you guys have been going through history on your social media, right?
Yeah, so when we're looking back at 60 years, it's more than just events. It's more than just a building. It's the people who made up the college. Yeah. Telling these stories is huge because it's who we are. It's reminding ourselves and the community.
Well, as with any place, it's, the walls are there to contain the people within, and the people are what makes the memories happen and makes the stories a reality. There's also going to be a big gathering for the 60th celebration on September 6th. So tell us about that. How can people come out?
It's going to be very exciting. It's a free community barbecue. It's going to be in the McMurray Park, which is that green space at the heart of our campus. We're going to have bouncy castles, face painters. It's going to be live music. We have Chantel Davison and Eva LaPrairie coming.
Perfect.
Classic cars. We're going to have a few, and a very, very special one. Our Dean of Trades was able to track down a truck from the very year we opened, and our dual credit students have been working with our staff to get it running.
To restore it. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, that is a real touchstone to the past.
We're hoping that'll be something that people can come, look, and see a physical piece of our history. 60
years is nothing to scoff at, so it's a big celebration. I hope there's going to be a lot of cake to share.
Oh, there's going to be a whole barbecue, desserts, cookies. We will be busing some people over the soccer home openers that same day at SMS Co-Equipment Place, so they'll be hosting our soccer home opener over there, so it's perfect. You can attend both.
Huskies are going to be back in action once again, and a lot to be done, not just at the site of the campus, but just throughout the community. This is really, really cool. Big gathering, September 6th, 11 to 3 at McMurray Park.
There's going to be prizes and giveaways, and you're not going to want to miss them.
Perfect. Okay, well, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much for stopping by, Michelle.
Thank you.
Wednesday.
Tragedy striking at Burning Man in the form of, it's a big sandstorm. People were having to flee, high winds, a lot of sand in the air. As far as I know, nobody majorly injured. I am shocked to find out the Orgy Dome at Burning Man has been destroyed. I know. Been in the lives of everyone, I'm sure. I'd never even heard of it before this morning. I think most people hadn't either. But it says everything you need to know right there in the name. Unfortunately, it has now been absolutely destroyed by a sandstorm. Not the song. That would have been a very different story. Or it would have been hugely ironic if that had been the last song playing in the dome before it got destroyed. So it would have been like, great, it's your fault. You put Darude on.
Hey, Alexa, play the Steve Reeve podcast.
Arguably the biggest music news. Doesn't even really have anything to do with what we play, but Taylor Swift getting engaged with Travis Kelce. And seeing a lot of reactions to it naturally. Some people just loving love and celebrating this marvelous occasion. Others going, oh, wait, more distraction from football? What are you doing? That's interesting timing, being 1 week out from the NFL season starting. I'm going, well, would you rather it happened on the field? I don't know. There's no winning there. Kiss, at least two members of Kiss, reuniting after they had retired in 2023. Never trust when a rock star or sports stars say they're retiring. But Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley have sort of reunited for a collaboration with the mobile game that's now coming out with a 2.0 version, World of Tanks. Yeah, sure, kind of fits. Certainly isn't their first run through doing a big collaboration like that. Just interesting that they're doing so, even after they've said, we're hanging up the boots. System of a Down, at least Serge Tankian of the band, is putting out some new music, a covers, collaborations, and collages project. Pre-existing recordings, collaborating with many different people, including Canada's Deadmau5, New Zealand's Bicrunga, and more. It's going to be released on October 24th. But more details, of course, are available. And yes, you can already pre-download, pre-save it, pre-order it, all that good stuff without ever having heard a note from the album. That's it for your music news this morning. So joining me here in the studio to talk about yet another event that you've got on the calendar, man. It's Mike Jones. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Just prepping for RibFest this weekend.
Yeah.
And next week we're straight into golf tournament mode.
Yeah, so First Responders Golf Tournament coming back again. So what is the deal? Obviously, if you're here talking to me, registration must still be open.
Yeah. Registration, you still got a few more days, probably till the end of the weekend. I think Monday would be the last day. Okay. So while you're eating those ribs, get registered. Or before then, before you have to worry about it this weekend. weekend because it's happening next Friday, September 5th at Miskadon. It's our 8th year, actually.
Yeah, 8th year doing this. And of course, it all is for the importance of the first responders. What does that mean? Well, it means that there are people that are putting their safety on the line, their well-being, even their mental health on the line for us. And in turn, they deserve to have support.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a day where we can have, like the RCMP, firefighters, paramedics, even like, military and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They all come out and they have a great day on the course. But it's open to everybody. It's open to the public as well. Anyone who wants to come out and have a great, fantastic day and support CMHA at the same time.
And it's more than just the golf too. I mean, you get treated to the full tournament and everything.
Yeah.
And then there's more beyond it as well. I mean, prizes to be won. It's all in support of a great cause, and even a little bit of a party afterwards.
Yeah, your ticket comes with, you get your welcome drink ticket as well. There's a couple of food items on the course. I know at least one of them is going to be a mac and cheese bar. So if you're a macaroni fan, I mean, you've had a couple drinks on the golf course, you get to hole 12, you're like, mac and cheese, heck yeah, sign me up.
Sounds amazing. Yeah, anytime. I'll say yes to mac and cheese.
Yeah, and then we've got the barbecue afterwards, the Rivers Casino and Entertainment Center, 19th hole we call it, which has Adam Bugden and Ryan Kosh performing, some good old Canadian boys there for some tunes for you. And then we drop a bunch of balls out of a helicopter and you could win up to $5,000. So there's lots of prizes all day.
There's tons that goes on with this.
A yoga hole and a speed hole this year too, like with Super Test Speedway. That's
okay. I was going to what a speed hole. Interesting. That makes me curious.
Basically, as soon as you tee off, the timer starts and it doesn't stop until you sink the putt. But you got 4 people and you're allowed to as soon as the ball makes contact, you drive and you go, and we basically got there before it even landed, and then I think I chipped it into the woods, but try not to chip it into the woods because that will eat into your time.
Speed, but also precision. Important.
Speed, but also precision, somewhat important too.
Yeah. So joining RCP, EMS, firefighting, and more, as you said, anybody basically in a uniform that takes care of people, going to be celebrated that day.
Heroes too, yeah.
100% of proceeds supporting the CMHA Wood Buffalo region as well. How do people get signed up?
They can sign up. They can go to our website, firstrespondersgolf.com. They can find all the details there, and they can basically click the link, pay for it right there, and you're good to go.
And reminder, get it done sooner than later if you're interested.
Yeah, registration closes on Monday.
Exactly. Get into it. Thanks so much for stopping by, man.
Thank you.
Transmission over. Want more Steve? New podcast episodes happen every Friday, or just tune into the Steve Reeve Show. Weekday mornings starting at 5:30 a.m. on 100.5 Cruz FM.